Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to our videos channel today on F124. So we're here at Abu Dhabi for round 6 of the ANL season in season 7. So if you haven't seen my last round at Qatar for round 5, make sure you check that out before you watch this round. I'll put that in the description if you haven't seen my last round at Qatar, so I won't spoil it what happened. So yeah, so coming into this race now at Abu Dhabi, we had a week break. That was last week. Just a week break, as usual. Different compared to other leads. So yeah, so doing short quali once again around Abu Dhabi this time for round 6, like I said earlier in the video. So yeah, Abu Dhabi, normally it's a season finale, sometimes in ANL, a few occasions, but it's in the middle of the season this time, so this is the 4th race in the desert, because we had the last one in Qatar, Bahrain and Jeddah, I think, the one I missed in round 3. So yeah, this is the 4th race in the Middle East in a row now, so a little bit different than I was expecting on the calendar when I checked it the first time I saw it. So yeah, so we're here at Abu Dhabi, doing my first run in the background, as you can see there. So just going through the 3rd sector right now, underneath the hotel. Just trying to try not to get a warning, or track limits where it's called, and try to get the banker in and all that. I've come around the last corner now to finish my first flying lap. That puts me P10 with a 23.8. So I say it's an okay first run, but I've still got time in there, so I know I can go faster than that. So as you see later on in the race, as I do my final run in quali, trying to get out of try to get the quickest time in there. The race is a little bit different than I was expecting. You'll see it later on in the video. The race was quite well. You will see it happened in the past. Some even older F1 games. It's like it's impossible to do. To drive around this track on weather-wise, so you see later on in the race. So what happens? Yeah, so last round wasn't that great. Well, didn't have the pace like it always in quali, and my race pace wasn't that great, and also I think I was on the wrong tyre to start with, and then I didn't have the pace, so I didn't get in the top 10. So that on. So we'll move on from Qatar to Abu Dhabi now. So decided to forget about Qatar and decided to have a week break and trying to see what I can do in the second half of the season right now. So there's only 10 races on the calendar, so this is kind of the second half of the season now, because we had our first half already because we had a week break last week. So as Cold Wars are 9 now. I managed to prove a few attempts on that lap. So it was P10, but now I'm P11 on the grid. So yeah, so not great, but they got some fast drivers in there as well, so I'm not complaining about that. So fair enough to them. As we move on to the race now, as you can see in the background, we're starting on intermediates because it's raining. So, and I wasn't expecting to happen, but I knew this was going to happen, so I wasn't sure to use my wet setup. Well, like an intermediate setup. Why? I do have a wet setup, so lucky I have that. Or should I just stick to the dry setup? So anyway, off we go at Abu Dhabi. There was a little bit of chaos there at turn 2, but luckily I managed to survive that. No damage though, so I was okay with it. I've got Dorego on my inside. He's kind of a verse driver for this season, so it's good to see him once again. I haven't seen him in a while, so yeah, it's good to race with us again. So yeah, so hopefully he can continue more races in the future and all that, like other people are, because this game is quite different compared to last year's, so that's why there's only one split for this year. So normally you have 2 divisions, but normally I'm in Division 2, but it's what it is. So yeah, on the back straight now, nearly got collided with one of the Mercedes and, well, the Red Bull of Dorego, and Morgan in the Mercedes, And then kind of was this left-hander. I got a little bit of rear tap by someone behind me. So luckily, there was no issues there. So no damage at all. So that's fine. So through the first sector 3 now, under the Helltail. And just taking my time through here. Make sure I don't get any... Well, try not to get a warning, but that'll be better. Yeah, so I'm kind of a little bit struggling at the moment, but luckily I haven't got damage yet, so I definitely need downforce for this bit. Motion God decided to pit already at the end of the first lap, so I guess he had damage or something on the first laps. Well, can't blame him, but I hope he will go better next time at Spa, because Spa is the next race on the calendar after this one. So I'm looking forward to next week though, but now we just need to focus on this round and see what I can do from there. Trying to go to the inside at the hairpin at turn 5. So managed to get alongside him, managed to get ahead of him, and then trying to use the toe of Dorego a little bit. Then he decided to come back at me when I was trying to save the battery a little bit. So I decided to give him the space, and then luckily there was no damage there, so I was very lucky with that bit. Trying to get a good exit as much as I can, using a bit of overtake, just trying to get the power down. I was thinking about going for the inside, but I'm kind of in a Sadie bockish way, so, but it's what it is. So I'm going to go around the outside of Thomas in the Mercedes. Luckily, I managed to get the move around the outside, so I got the job done, so that was very nice, around the outside. Just trying to be careful through here. So very nicely, not too bad at all. And just trying to be, well, not just tracking, it's just trying to be careful what these guys are doing. And through the couple last 2 corners at the end of lap 2, I managed to, not too bad at all, but it's okay for now. And at the end of lap 2, survived that. So now I'm kind of in the Mercedes sandwich once again, like it was at Sandford, where I was, well, kind of got connived with them. But this time we managed to not get connived, but we managed to we do really well not to get connived once again. So what happened at Sandford in the pre-season testing race before the first round. So like that. So not doing too bad so far. Kind of almost struggling on the intermediates, but I think it's something to do with the setup. So I'm not complaining, but it's what it is. So sometimes wet racing is not kind of my thing. So I was just doing the best I can, and I knew this was going to happen. Raining around Abu Dhabi, so I knew this was going to happen since Abu Dhabi was on. Well, and Abu Dhabi was the next race, so I knew this was going to happen. So because I remember that. In the older F1 games at the time, I remember that clip or that footage from a YouTuber, because I knew this was going to happen like one day. That bit there was a little bit glitchy at the front from Dorego, so I think Dorego has connection problems or glitchy problems. I'm not sure what it is, but I know he has connection problems, but luckily it's not me, because I always have connection problems every time I do this. I remember that in Season 4, and I remember that. And Season 5 too, because I always have glitchy problems every time. And then Morgan made a mistake there, at the exit of the second last corner, and that got me a free praise up to P11. So that's not too bad. So I gained a free praise from that, so at the end of that 3. So now I'm not far from the top 10, so kind of, well, I mean, the first 5 cars are gone. From Division 1 drivers are already gone. When it comes towards the hairpin, Dorego hit the Roger 97 in the back there at the hairpin in the Ferrari driver, Ranger's teammate for this season. Managed to get a good exit though. I'm not sure Dorego has damage, but he's kind of glitchy a little bit on the connection there. So I started to get past him at the chicane there at turn 6 and 7. Luckily, I managed to get the overtake done, and I managed to gain 2 places, so not too bad on that 4. So very nicely. So managed to clear away from the second. I think Dorego has damage or something, but I'm not sure. But he might have. Wait and see on that at the end. So yeah, so kind of was through the Sector 3 now. As we skip on to, well, as we come towards the hotel, into lap 9 now of the race, 4 laps later. Coming towards the hairpin, there's a radio coming in, so I'll leave it there in a second.
So the rain should be stopping anytime soon. So watch those lap times. We may have to pit for dries at very short notice. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
So the rain is going to stop soon. So that is very interesting. So the rain's going to stop at any moment, but Inters is still the fastest tyre at the moment. But my tyres are kind of, not worn, but a little bit on the worn side, but not brand new and all that, like it was on that one. So yeah, so rain's going to stop at any time. So now I've got to try and get to, well, where the DRS is enabled, or it's the right time to go on the dries and all that. So yeah, so it's going to be tough, but it's not going to be easy, but I'll do the best I can on that. So Kingsman set the fast lap of the race, a 35. So he's about over a second quicker than me. So I'm not blaming him, so because he's a Division 1 driver. If there was 2 divisions right now, Ranger would have been, well, I don't know, would have been, he's 4 seconds up the road, and Strocco is, those two are battling for the, well, those two would be battling for the lead right now, so I would be like P3 at this stage. So if it was 2 divisions only, as always, but it is what it is. But well, now I've got these 2 Mercedes drivers right behind me, so now I've got to I'm trying to fend a little bit, but I keep struggling on these Inters. So I come towards the hairpin. He decided to go for the moves. So I decided not to fight that much because I'm trying to protect my tyres a little bit more. Duego decided to retire from the race, so I guess he had damage or something, or he decided not to continue, or maybe he has enough or something, so it's fair enough to him. So I changed on to the hards because that is kind of my well, I mean that's kind of my, well, just in case it does dry up a bit quickly, but I mean the track like this, it takes ages to dry. So because I thought in the desert it might dry up a bit quickly when it has hot temperatures and all that. Morgan went a little bit wide there, but I'm not sure he has damage because every time I see his front net, he hasn't got a front wing, so he might have damage or something. But I haven't got damage though, but I'm quite surprised he hasn't got any. I'm surprised. I'm not sure he has damage, but he's doing okay so far, so I'm quite surprised with that. So anyway, move on to coming towards the end of lap 10. He decided to pit in on lap 10, so including Starbucks 98 as well. In the kind of a I'm not sure they're going on the dry tyres. Well, Strocco is going on mediums, so I was quite surprised going on mediums. I'm not sure it feels a bit too early to go on mediums at this stage, because mediums they last about 13 laps or 12 laps sometimes. So it feels like the hard tyre, well, medium tyres, sorry, are kind of a bit too early and all that. Oh yeah, and also, not because the track is not drying up takes ages as well, we're using different nuities. We go back to 2024 nuities. I've got to say that earlier in the vid note. So yeah, so we decided to use normal nuities for this round. I'm quite surprised. I mean, I prefer it that way than the multiplayer cards, because you just don't know who your teammate is. Well, you know who your teammate is, but you just don't know who's going to... It's really difficult when to come in or not if you're on the same strategy as as a weird random teammate. But I prefer it that way more often and all that. Later on in the race, Motion God retired from the race in the Aston Martin. So he decided to retire from the race, so it's 2 DNFs already. Or coming nearly at halfway stage. Well, for me, well, apart from getting a warning, I decided to continue to stay on Inters because it feels like it's not drying up yet. So I decided to keep going and see what happens from there. So I decided to keep going on Inters because I know it's a bit too early for me. As I come towards the last corner, apart from sliding a little bit, half a lap later, onto lap 13 now. I thought I thought that one of the Mercedes, I thought we crashed there for a second. I thought it was a safety car at one point. I thought that'd be a good timing to go onto the hards and change tyres and all that, but it turns out it's not. So I'm not getting any safety cars at this point, so I'm quite surprised. Well, since last time we had a safety car was around Spain in the first round, and then there was a bit of Jeddah because when I missed a round. But I thought there was a safety car at one point, but it turns out it's not. So thanks for that. Yeah, it's very difficult to get well, you have to get like, well, I don't know, get 2 DNFs for a safety car. I don't know why, but it's what it is. At the end of that 14 now, I decided to come in for dry tyres now, because these tyres are kind of dead now. They're almost at punctuatory, but luckily I just got into pits just in time. You got Otis and FO are going on to the hards, so they're going dry tyres straight away. So I do the same, exactly the same as those two are doing. To see what I can do from there. So if I'm not sure it's the right time, but to go on the dry tyres, but at least I didn't go 5 laps in early. So I was pitted 4 laps later. What Morgan did on the end of lap 10. So I pitted 4 laps later because I know it's not dried. It wasn't dry yet. And now we're coming to lap 15 now, as on the exit of pit lane. The track is still a little bit slidey, so it feels like the dry tyres is a bit too early. So I could have stayed on inters, but if my tyres were over, kind of almost at punctuatory, so I could have gone onto inters, could have gone to fresh inters early on in the race, but I just don't want to do a 2 or 3 stop race. But if it was longer than a 50% race, I would have been okay with that. I would have done another set of inters, and then keep going till it dries up, and then if it wait for DRS is enabled, and then that's the best time to go on the dry tyres. Yeah, it feels like when I was going out on my out lap, the track is still a little bit on the slippery side. So it feels like the dry tyres I'm on right now. I made the right decision to stay out, but it's just, well, 4 laps later, it feels like it's just, I just can't push through these corners. Well, I know mediums wasn't the right suit. I'm not sure the mediums were the right call, but it's just, it feels I can't make it to the end on mediums. At hards I can, that's why I'm decided to go for the hards instead of mediums. If it was nat 17, well, we're on nat 16 right now. If it was nat 18 or something, I would have, or 17 maybe, I would have gone on to the mediums to the end. So I would definitely do mediums for 12 laps. So yeah, so I decided to use hards, so at least I can get to the end and all that. So Ranger set the fast lap of the race. Now DRS is enabled 2 laps later. Got another warning, so that's my second warning now. You might have seen the first one earlier in the vid though. So I'm on my last warning already. But I am doing my personal best, so I'm definitely getting the lap times down. But I'm still trying to find the grip on this kind of almost drying up, but it takes ages to dry. So yeah, so Ranger is still on inters, and he's done another fast lap of the race half an lap later. So it feels like I should have stayed on inters. I should have just came in for inters, and then would have been alright. But some of the guys at the front, including Destroyer, Nation, Kingsman, were in the top 3, and also, of course, King James as well, and other fast drivers as well. They went for the dry tyres, apart from Ranger, because he went for he went for inters, I think, when I came in. We got Morgan, who's a lap down, so he's kind of struggling on the dry tyres compared I am. So yeah, so at least I had to worry about him for now. So I'm still in the top 10 though, so I'm quite happy with it. So now Ranger decided to come in for the dry tyres now on lap 20 now. So he's got a 3-second penalty as well, so I might have a chance here. But he's going on medium, so he should be faster than my hard tyres. It's very difficult. I'm not sure to go on inters or fresh inters or go on the dry tyres. It's just sometimes it's very difficult for me. Well, if it dried up a bit quicker or a bit earlier, I would have been okay right now at this stage. But it's what it is, but I'm not angry about it. So now, as we move on to a nap later, apart from the Destroyers getting the fastest nap, we got Ranger right behind me. He decided to go for the round the outside in Sector 3. And lucky I managed to hold on for that bit. I'm trying to save my battery a little bit, just to get more EOS in the tank. And now I'm trying to fend the inside. And then I had to give him the space. Then I almost nearly got DNF'd there. Almost into the pit lane well, almost for a moment. But he nearly crashed into me. But I know he's faster than me, and he set the fast lap of the race. And I was quite surprised. Well, I know he's got fresh mediums, and he's faster than me, but you don't need to go side by side through Sector 3, because that's kind of the weird place to go side by side through there. But I was trying to save the battery, but I was trying to stay on track, but it's very difficult. And I don't have DOS from Ranger, so not because he has fresh tyres than me, but I don't know. It's what it is, but I'm not angry about it. It's happened. It happens all the time. Did it in Bahrain once, where he almost go for it at the last corner, and I was quite surprised because he could have done it at turn 1, but he didn't. And also he could have done it at he could have done it at turn 1 at Abu Dhabi, but I don't know. It makes no sense sometimes for him. But anyway, I nearly made a mistake there, but Otis just got past me. He's on mediums. I'm not sure he pit at the same time as me. Well, he did came in at the same time as me, but I think he was on medium since. Well, I'm not sure he's doing a 2-stop, or he might have done a 2-stop, but I'm not sure. But so now I decided to follow Otis with DRS. Decided to save battery a little bit on this straight, and he's definitely the fastest guy on track at the moment. So I thought I'd follow him instead, and he's got a 3-second penalty as well. So if I just follow him, I should be alright. And then Legend decided to come in for... He was on hard, so he went on to mediums now. Well, I think he's trying to get the fastest nap or something, so... to get an extra point. So, yeah, you could try, but I'm not doing a 2-3 stop race, because I'm just doing a 1-stop for today in this run. I'm not sure I should have gone on to inters and then go on mediums, and then that would have been the right strategy. But I've done the personal best, though, into the 27s now. But not too bad. So I'm trying to stick with it. I'm trying to get into his DRS, but he's just gone. So I just didn't have. I didn't get a chance to get in this. I didn't have the chance. So there's 2 drivers I can't. I was trying to get into DRS, but it didn't work. So it's not because my hards are worn and mediums are very fresh. It's because they're much faster than me. My tyres were okay. My rear tyres were okay. It's just I just can't get into the DRS because I didn't get a chance. So Roger decided to pit for the softs at the end, try and get the fast lap as well. Legend has the fast lap of the race at the moment, so he's going to get the extra point for this one. Kingsman's won the race, so fair play to him. So he's managed to... He drove really well for this run, so... Yeah, the tyre fight's quite interesting between Kingsman and Destroyer. My tyre wear is kind of almost on the wall side, but if it dried up a bit quicker, it would have been okay, but it's what it is. So coming towards the last lap now. It is the last lap of the race now. Just try and get through here, make sure I can get a penalty. Well, I mean, I didn't get a chance for P7 though, so it's what it is. Around the last 2 corners, that is P8 for me. So, I mean, that's not too bad after the last round in Qatar. So I'll take P8 for this one, but I could have been P7 or P6 if the track was a bit drier, but it's what it is. So yeah, so that's for Abu Dhabi for round 6. So make sure you like, subscribe to your channel. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for your support and all that. If you are new to your channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to your channel, I appreciate it a lot as well. And I'll see you guys next video. See you guys next time for my 24. And the next round is at Spa, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And that is the next round in ANL for Season 7. And have a nice day, and see you there.